Bonsoir, ça va? Bonsoir, Karim.
Bonsoir. En anglais, s'il vous plaît?
En anglais, s'il vous plaît.
Please.
Yes, sir, will do. How long have you been teaching for?
I've been teaching overall for 20 years and at John Abbott for 18.
Pretty interesting, pretty long investment at John Abbott. Could we say that, well, let's start out first with Jack Astro. Am I saying it
John
correct?
Abbott College Astro, yes.
Okay, oh, well, makes sense. Could you expand on what the project is, what you're doing with your students?
So when I started teaching astronomy about 8 years ago, I decided to make it as available and as open as possible. It's taught as one option course, and then there's an astrophysics option course that a colleague of mine teaches, but that only hits 40 students at a time. There's a lot more that are interested because the night sky, the sun, following the planets, this is all...
Do we get to see the sky in Montreal?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can't see the stars as much as you want to. Montreal is actually the third worst over the year in light pollution in the entire world.
The third worst?
Because we're surrounded by ice and snow for so much of the year, it reflects back the artificial light that the city has, and it makes it much worse than even New York. However, when we use the areas that are dedicated to dark skies or areas that are dedicated to reduced lighting, like we have in Saint-Anne-de-Bellevue, which is where John Abbott is, we have a chance to see some of the stars. And we have that shared experience, we have that interest in a lot of the public, not just the students who go to John Abbott. So we've developed an outreach program with the students in the Space Club, the students in the astronomy class, and the local amateur astronomer community.
Are there any?
There's so many. We've got at our English Centre, the Royal Astronomical Society of Canada's Montreal Centre, we have about 220 on average that come out over the year as members. We have 29 different French centres just in Quebec, and we have another 29 English centres across the country. And all of these have a shared experience, but it's not just locally. I've developed global partnerships. So last night I was on with Explore Scientific on the US channel, reaching 30,000 people.
Wow.
Yesterday afternoon we had the Space Oddities, which comes out of Europe, where I'm a contributor there, and that reaches upwards of thousands of people through Europe, through Central Asia, and even into South America. And so you get a chance to really share that passion, and the students get a chance to see that every little bit they learn can open up eyes and open up horizons for people who they will never meet in person, but they can share their journey with them.
Your passion is certainly very tangible.
Thank you.
Would you believe that I used to live in Tucson, which is one of the best places in North America to see the sky, which is a dark city?
Our honorary president is David Levy, and he lives out there near Tucson. And our most recent astronomy magazine editor just moved out there, and he's actually right now in Easter Island observing the annular eclipse that's happening today.
Because you have to live in a dark city to know the difference between what is a very busy city like Montreal, where you don't get to see the sky, and when you see the open sky, it's just amazing.
And this is where you can really connect to the indigenous stories, to the two-eyed seeing, where you can identify the science and the observations that the indigenous and ancient cultures have done.
Of course.
And so getting students to go out to Mont-Mégantic, getting them to go up to Algonquin Park in Ontario, getting them to go up into the Laurentians, and make these observations. One of the best things is, middle of the night, I will get messages from former students who are traveling all across the world, sending me their pictures going, am I seeing what I think I'm seeing? And it continues. You know, we have the students come back and share their stories, and that generational impact, the mentorship that happens, is what makes Jack Astro so special.
Well, very obviously, you are a star to your students and former students. Thank you very much.
I'll accept the pun. Thank you.